this. So 1 second. Okay, so I really love that you guys are taking out first your time tonight to just go in and learn and grow and implement. So my biggest thing is getting you guys set up for success and kind of like a blueprint for that. So, I mean, obviously we're very like trained, but like our trainings, one, are unmatched and are such good knowledge of nuggets, and they're very visual. So it's a lot more of like the videos and watching trainings, things like that, which is great. But I also want to give you guys kind of like a guideline that you can do within your first 14 days. And I'll type it out if you want to message me as well, so that you guys kind of have like a blueprint on working towards your VIPs, which is going to be something I go over as well. And you might already know what those are. So when you first start the day one, A1, like day one of your business, what I always have my girls is really start with adding to the team. I add you guys to our units 1 and 2. So I really focus on setting you guys up in units 1 and 2, which if you go to the Hustling Thrive page and you see at the top, you'll see it where it says units. You're going to have that unit section where you can go in and go through and complete. So you can mark off as you complete. So when I do units, let me make sure everyone's in. I thought there was someone in the waiting room. I'm sorry. So with units 1 and 2, it's going to teach you what to kind of talk about within your first 14 days, what to kind of gear towards and expect. So within your first 14 days, I always have my new girls kind of do like an anticipation post. Like day 1, typically what I have you guys do is I'll be like, do something that kind of causes engagement, but doesn't always give all the nuggets of knowledge that you just did. Something that's like exciting, like, oh my goodness, I'm very excited what I just did. Stay tuned. I can't wait to like announce it. So usually posting is something that I know a lot of us are either new to or don't do a lot of. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or stressed or anything like that. It's normal to feel like I just did something new. I just did something outside of my comfort zone. So if you have like fear or you're trying to learn the things, give yourself some grace. My best tip is to start with your anticipation post, like something simple with a picture. So really just keep it short, simple, to the point, like, oh my goodness, stay tuned. I can't wait to chat about it. And I always do like a picture of like, when I did my anticipation, I did a picture of like myself and my son, for example, because he's part of my why. I like to kind of show that part so that my audience, which is your network, your friends, things like that, really kind of connect to that heartstring part. The second thing is obviously starting with your training videos, but what I do is help you guys start working towards your VIP period. So depending on who your upline is, what I really, really suggest is making sure that you're asking questions every single day. And I know a lot of us, and this was my fear as well when I first started, but a lot of us were like, I don't want to bug anyone. I don't want to like text my upline too much. That's what we're here for. So if like, for example, I'm your personally enrolled, like I am the one that enrolled you, or if you have another leader or a different person, my biggest tip that I can give you that's helped me go to where I'm going is asking questions. I always tell all my new girls, if you're not in my inbox, like you feel like you're annoying me, you're not talking to me enough. Because I'm never going to be annoyed. I'm always going to be here to help. And when you can be directed on what to do and kind of like, oh, I did this, so what can I do now? Or, hey, I want to like learn this. Can you guide me where you need to be? It really helps you kind of take away that fear and that unknown part that a lot of us are kind of learning and guiding into. The second thing is when you do your units 1 and 2, the second video that we typically tag you in is how to work towards your VIPs. So I use this as my blueprint for success throughout my whole entire business. And how that really is it's going to be 2 customers on an auto ship, doesn't matter what volume amount it is, and then 2 promoters on packs. So when you log into your back office or your cloud office, you'll see like these 3 bubbles in there, and it will have an end date. In that end date is going to give you the time frame that you have to work for this bonus. The cool thing is if you miss it, it doesn't hurt you. And there's tons and tons of leaders that have not hit their VIP. So if that's something like you did and you're outside of your 14 days, don't let that let you like slow you down or anything. But I do want to help you push towards these VIP bonuses because that will take you to being able to maximize on your comp plan as well. So 2 promoters on packs. We have the $200, the $400, the $800 pack. The reason why I love breaking down each pack, and I'll send the graphic, if you message me privately, I have a template that I use that explains each pack, and it really breaks down like the value. I can read it to you just to kind of give you guys like an example, because it allows them, like when you first start and you're building your business, to give options within your promoters. So like, for example, with those 2 promoters that you're going to be working towards, my first 2 promoters was like a family member or a friend, for example, that wanted to support me on the business. I had them order one of the packs. The second promoter was my spouse, because let's say you're about to hit your VIPs, or you're almost to your VIPs and you need one more promoter. It's really good to kind of go towards your spouse account, because you can run towards your VIPs underneath their account as well. So it kind of gives you 2 ways of building bonuses if that's something you feel strong to do. If you don't do that. I always tell my girls, do what's on your heart and what you feel comfortable with. So once you've watched units 1 and 2 and you've gone over and kind of got familiar with the VIPs and you've gotten familiar with that, what I always pull from is really plugging into our trainings and then asking questions, but also going in and focusing on your why. So I have all my girls within their first like 72 hours send me their why. Like, why are you here? What is the reason enough was enough for you? What was that pivotal moment that you decided to finally join this tribe? Because as you know, we are very big on like self-development, and you guys can ask any questions if you have questions too. But we're very like self-development based, because that is a huge part of getting to the next level, but also those actions. So I know like getting familiar with the products, things like that is obviously something we want to do. My biggest tip is when you're trying to get to know the products and you're trying to like explain those to people or like friends or family or whatever, talk about how it makes you feel. You don't need to know all the science behind everything and all the milligrams of the vitamins on everything and get stuck in that spiral. I still like get tongue tied on like, oh wait, it's like 10 milligrams of like that and that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about the science. People want to know how it makes you feel. That's what's going to connect to that value. Because the thing about it is, I can give all the science to someone. It's kind of like if you go to the mall, for example, back when the mall was open, and like you were able to like, you would have people in the middle of the mall being like, buy this, buy this, buy this. You know, it's like you don't want to feel like you're being sold, okay? You want to feel like someone's understanding what someone is here for. Those like how it makes you feel. Like for me, I literally always had like squirrel syndrome and always was like constantly brain fogged and constantly tired and constantly running on empty. And the minute I tried our 3 steps, literally I was like mind blown, because I felt like peaceful in my brain. Like I felt like calm and collective, and like I had this sustained energy. And I was like one of those girls that drank like 6 cups of coffee a day. So I drank a ton of coffee. And literally within my first like 24 hours, 72 hours, I didn't even touch coffee, which was huge. So my biggest thing is I would share that, especially within my 14 days. I kind of would paint that story and be like, oh my goodness, like this is amazing. I cannot believe that I'm like not running to my Keurig right now and brewing like 20 cups of coffee. This is insane. And even just like a simple little post like that, it doesn't have to be like perfect and all thought out. It can just be like that value of sharing how you're feeling. People want to know more. People want to be like, what is that? Like, tell me more. I want to feel that great. And so my biggest thing is focus on units 1 and 2. Get your anticipation post up. I always tag my girls in the first starting video with Katie, that's the first one, like usually your upline will tag you in on like, welcome, what to do. And then the second one will be about focusing on your VIPs. What I have my girls do once they've watched those 2 is reach out to me. I typically will then from there is like discuss kind of your why. And the reason why I want to know your why is because that's going to help you really layer who you are. People can go anywhere and buy Lavelle. What people buy from is you, your voice, your message, what you've been able to relate to, or what makes you feel the way you do. So my biggest thing is helping you guys learn what it takes to kind of like implement. And then we have these things called income producing activities. Does everyone kind of have an idea what income producing activities are? No? Okay, perfect. That I love that you guys said no, because this helps me like kind of pinpoint, and this is the area I'm going to focus on in this Zoom, because I can take you on the whole path of unit 1 and 2. My job is to have you have the blueprints for what to do within your first 2 weeks and how to transfer that throughout your business. So first off, I want you to write down your why on your piece of paper tonight. What made you decide Lavelle? What were 5 things that stood out to you about our products or how you felt on them, and what made you decide Lavelle? So it can be like 3 to 5 things on how you felt about the products, okay? The second thing is I want you to write maybe 3 to 5 things down about what you noticed about this community and this business. For me, I came from a previous company. I was a top leader in my previous company, and I couldn't fully stand behind everything because I didn't want to cold message. I didn't want to spam. I didn't want to have to like post 6,000 times a day. I just wanted to be me and share something that made me feel amazing. And so when I say pull a couple of layers from like how it made you feel or how the business kind of already stood out, write those things down. Maybe you like the community, just like how the women are in the community of encouragement, and just like how we're pushing each other to be our best selves. Maybe it's like the hands-on trainings. Like we have a training almost every single night, which is unheard of, you know, and you guys have access to that. Maybe it's you get to run your business for free. Every 2 customers that you get that are on an auto ship, you get free product credit every single month to run your business for free. So it's super cool because I've never had to spend money to make money over here, which I know some of you are like, oh yeah, I had to do that in my previous gig, which I can tell if you're a part of network marketing, you're like, yeah, I know, because we've been there. And that's something that stood out for me is you get product credit every single month. So for example, when you're working towards your VIPs, your first 2 customers that are on an auto ship, I don't use the word auto ship. I'll talk to you about this in a sec. You get free product credit for the following month. That is loaded onto your account on the 2nd of every single month. Okay. Cool thing is, it is going to be an average out of those 2 customers. And what it is we're not forced to be in an auto ship requirement. We have no auto ship requirement. So it's completely flexible. Super cool thing is all my customers, they get 20% off for putting their order on an auto ship. So that's something that's super cool. So what I say is, hey girl, you're going to get 20% off of your order. And then on the 1st, I'm going to check in with you and see if you want to order anything or if you need to get your order paused or whatever that, but then you're getting that 20% discount. Do you see how I kind of explain that without saying the word auto ship or anything like that? I say, hey, I'm going to check in with you on the 1st, see if you need anything else. And then by then you'll have free product credit. So it's a really cool way to also duplicate helping your existing customers that want to keep ordering, because we have a 95% retention rate when it comes to our customers, which is huge. Like our customers want what we have and they want to continually have what we have. So what I love about that is any of my reoccurring customers that choose to keep ordering, because I'm getting product credit, I give them like $5 off here or $10 off here. You can choose whatever amount, because our product credit is actually transferable, which is another huge thing. So you actually, let's say you have a promoter, or let me use this as an example. Let's say you have a customer that is wanting to order, but their max budget, and let's say you're a month in, you've earned your free product credit, for example, and like next month, okay, all of you will have your free product credit. I'm really speaking life over you guys because I know you guys are capable. So cool thing is, your next customers next month, you wanted to offer them like $10 off for free shipping, you can do that. And you can kind of customize and personalize your own promos with your product credit, which I love. I always did at the beginning was ordered what I needed for my business, for myself, my products. So I was like making sure I had my stuff taken care of. And then if I had any product credit left over, that is what I would give out to my customers or my potentials. Okay, so just a tip there. Second thing is promoters and your VIP period with this. Promoters with your VIP period, so you'll have your 2 customers and then your 2 promoters on packs. Once you hit that, your bubbles will be completely filled underneath your back office. You'll have a full bubble, okay? That will give you your $400 bonus. It's gonna give you $100 in product credit, and that's gonna give you weekly residual income. So every week we get paid. Every single Tuesday we get paid, which is another huge thing. Usually other companies only get paid on like once a month or things like that. I love that fact that we get paid every single Tuesday. Yes, as a promoter, you always get the discount. Like you'll always have the discount. You're not on an auto ship or anything like that as a promoter. So that's not something that you're required to do over here. You don't have to be on auto ship over here as a promoter. But the cool thing is you still get the discounted pricing always. But then the other thing is you're always going to probably be getting free product credit by helping serve other people. So your products will always be free by helping others as well. So second thing is we have our Hustle team page. We have trainings Monday. And well, I do one Monday if you're part of my downline, and you guys are more than welcome on there if you guys want to. And then we have our Wednesday night huddles. The reason why I want you guys to write this down is so you know when to show up. I was always like one of those people that were willing to be coachable in the beginning and really focalizing on what I need to do in order to show up to go up, okay? So Wednesday night trainings are at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, or not Central, Pacific, sorry. And then the Zoom ID number is 666-188-9698. So that you guys have that. I want you guys to have that because honestly, you guys, I always tell my girls, staying close to the fire, which is like our team Zooms, our hub, like all these things like you're on right now, will only launch your business more and more forward, okay? Because the more you're willing to be coachable and learn and grow and be your best resource and ask questions and do these things, the more you're going to grow your business. So let's go over some income producing activities together because this is going to be like your blueprint for success, okay? So part of my income producing activities, and this is something you'll really start learning as you see within our tribe, we self-development, personal development. I call this personal development with a paycheck almost. Because literally what this business does is it teaches you how to overcome your fears, how to overcome your limitations, how to overcome your self-doubt, the patterns, the stinking thinking, the negativeness, whatever that you have been doing up to this point that has not given you the results that you wanted for your life, okay? So whatever your why or whatever you're here for, we want to help you reach that. We want to help you hit your goals, overcome your limitations, and really tap into your full potential through self-love and personal development. I always tell like my girls, for example, and I'll get that Zoom number again for you too. You can't pour from an empty cup, okay? So if you're a mom or you're a spouse or sister, whatever, you can't pour into your kids and be the best you until you're taking care of you, if that makes sense. Like I always say, like, how am I supposed to lead my son to be positive and be, be a good example to others and all those things if I'm not pouring into myself, okay? So I really make sure I lead from the front in that area. And how I do that is setting the tone for my day. Personal development is a non-negotiable for my business. So you're probably like, well, what is personal development? So let's talk about that. I do like a podcast, which we share them in our chats. I do YouTube videos, like motivational YouTube videos by like Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Amanda Francis, different like speakers and stuff like that. I have my own podcast as well. It's purposely driven. If you want to look it up on iTunes to kind of start out with things like that. But what it is, it's developing your mind. It's helping you look at different perspectives. It's helping you grow differently and get into different thinking patterns so that you can get different actions. So audibles, podcast, reading, whatever works for you and how you learn is what I always tell my girls to start with. I can always tell when someone's hopping on their phone first before pouring into themselves first, because they're usually overthinking, stressed, focused on the negative, focused on everything that's not going right, really being in that stinking thinking. And that's what we want to help you reprogram. Okay, because that will only create that same back. So self-development is something that I always tell my girls to do first thing in the morning before hopping on your phone or hopping on like social media land and getting stuck in that rabbit hole, making sure you're really taking care of your mind first, okay? That's a non-negotiable for my business, number one. Then I always do some type of like journaling in the morning. So for example, I do like I am affirmations and gratitude. I write down a few things I'm grateful for the day. I love that. Ooh, yes, I love that. I do like, so gratitude, my Bible time, my devotional time, whatever works for you. And I really set that intention for what I'm going through my day as far as like speaking, I am worthy of everything. Whatever I am affirmations, you're probably like, this is a little woo-woo, but I promise it works. So I am affirmations, gratitude. The next thing I do is I connect to my why. Why am I doing this? What am I here for? What am I wanting to change? What do I want to change in the next 6 months? Where do I see myself going in this business? Where would I want to be if I had no limitations on myself? These are some of the things I like to connect to in the morning, okay? Second thing is I throw my products in my stories every single day. And so the reason why I do this is I want to show people consistency and I want to show people routine and that I'm a product of the product. You can't be like, hey, this is so amazing. Come, let's do this together. Let's buy some products, but you're not showing you using them. Does that make sense? Like you got to really show what you're doing. So I do like a boomerang on my Instagram, for example. And if you guys need to look at my Instagram for tips and stuff like that, and as you're growing in this, you can as well. But what I do is I will go on my Instagram and I will throw like a boomerang of my capsules, for example, and me doing my journaling. Or I'll do like me making my shake and do like a time lapse of like me putting my shake together. We have a customer group as well. If you're not a part of that, please reach out to your upline so that we can get you added to that. It has workouts, shake recipes, snack ideas, meal ideas, before and afters, giveaways, all the things. So your customers are also accountable and taken care of as well. There's so many good shake recipes underneath there. If you're brand new and needing some guidance there, our shakes are amazing. And literally my jam right now is peanut butter banana, which is phenomenal. It's so good. We'll go off of that in a second. But I show like me doing my 3 steps in some sort of way in the morning, okay? The next thing I do throughout my day is I start engaging on my audience. And this is really key because we're in the business of building friendships. Yes, apple pie is so good. We're building friendships. We're in network marketing. Okay? Networking is friendship building. It's like literally talking to people and not overcomplicating it, not making it scary, not cold messaging, not doing any of that. Literally just talking to people. So how I do that is I go through my stories is what I do first. And I do my stories like where I go through whatever's on Instagram first, and I'll spend about 2 to 3 minutes commenting. I set timers. That's another thing. If you work full time, for example, I worked 60 hours a day, or 60, that's not realistic, 60 hours a week and was in school full time when I first started this business 2 years ago. I retired myself in 6 months and I'm a mom full time. So when I hear people say, hey, I don't know if I can do this, I don't have time. No, you don't have a priority, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And it really comes down to using the pockets of time that you do have. Like I said, I worked full time, mom life, school, full time, all the things. I worked from 7 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, would get off, take my son to my grandma's house or my husband, and would be at school from 5:30 to 10 o'clock at night, the first 6 months of business, okay? And the reason why I say that is because I really want you to make this a priority, because this business will change your life. Literally, it's recreated my whole life in every single aspect of my life. And I want that for my girls. So with that being said, I would show my stories, me using the products. I would start engaging with my audience. And like I said, I would go through people's stories and I would see things that I could genuinely relate to, like genuinely comment on, genuinely talk with them about. And let's say, for example, I'm an esthetician, retired esthetician by trade. So like when people post skincare, I'll be like, oh my goodness, tell me about the skincare. Why do you love it? Like just general like conversations, because I'm generally interested, wanting to know. Or maybe there's someone that has like a really cute outfit that I want to know where they got it. I would like go in their stories and ask. Or maybe like they're out with their kids all the time and they're keeping their kids busy because of coronavirus, all the things. Like, I'm like, what are you doing to keep your kids busy? Because I need all the tips right now. You know, things like that. Like just being team human, just getting to know your audience. So going through my stories, I would go through my stories that way. And I would spend about 2 to 3 minutes doing that. I'll put myself on a timer even, if that helps, if you need like kind of that structure. I would do like a 2-minute timer and be like, okay, for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to comment on Instagram stories. Then I would hop over to Facebook and do 2 minutes on Facebook stories. Then I would go in and comment on post for a couple minutes. And what I do by that, I use the cleanup rule. I clean up my Instagram or my Facebook and like unfriend people as I comment, because the reason it's important to grow your network when you're new and like when you're starting out is you want to make sure you have the right type of like people. If people are like super negative all the time, or like just like constantly sharing things that have nothing to really do with who they are, typically that's not the type of people I follow. I want people that are positive, that are like encouraging, inspiring, things like that on my timeline, because it really is what you get back. Like what you think is what you get back. So if I'm constantly seeing negative things around me, I'm constantly going to probably be more negative. So the thing about it is I clean up my profile at the same time, but as I'm going in and commenting, I'm commenting on their stories or I'm commenting on their page and like engaging. That's really important. So we have show your 3 self-development, gratitude or I am affirmations. We have connect to your stories, like show your 3 steps in your stories. We have engaging, so that could be engaging through posts, engaging through stories, however you are, just be you. Don't like get scared or overthink it or anything like that. Just be you. And then we have the interaction part of things, but then I do post. Typically, like the biggest thing I hear when people are starting off, I don't know what to post, which is very common. You know, this is new for you. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or like you can't. But what I always have my new girls do is, okay, so if you don't know what to post, tell me a little bit more about your why. Like, why are you here? Tell me about like, what was your pivotal moment that you're finally like, okay, enough is enough? Or what made you, was it like walking into the store and having to continually check your bank account to even be able to buy groceries? Were you that mom that was in WIC like and got the wrong block of cheese that wasn't on your WIC account and you had to go and return it and get back? Like, what was that pivotal moment? I've been all these things. So that's why I'm using these as examples, because I've been there. So sharing and painting that story, those are all things you can post about. So if you haven't, Lindsay's video, it's called Your Fives. It's underneath Unit 2. That is a really good thing to start out and watch. It helps you understand like the 5 layers of you. What makes you you? Write 5 things down besides just being a mom or a wife or, you know, whatever your path is. I want to know a little bit deeper. What are 5 things that make you you? And then 5 things about the business, 5 things about the products. And then those are things that you can pull from and talk about as well, which is another cool thing, because then when you're like, I don't know what to post, okay, you're like, okay, I can talk about like how I was just struggling to pay my car payment a week ago. I'll use that as an example because that's why I started. I started because I couldn't afford my car payment and I wanted to be able to work towards the second rank, which was our paid for vehicle. So the second rank in our company, which is another super cool thing if you don't know, it's our auto bonus. And it's really obtainable. But the cool thing is I would speak it into life. So even though it hadn't happened to me, I would post about things like that. I'd be like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm upside down in this Dodge Journey that I'm driving around and I barely can afford this car payment. I cannot wait for the days that I'm able to drive around in a luxury vehicle or drive around in a paid for vehicle or not have to stress about those bills coming out. I would speak into life like what I wanted, if that makes sense. The third thing is really understanding about like posting And then also the engaging factor of things. Growing your network is another area that I really like to help my girls with. So adding and deleting, kind of like how I was talking about a few minutes ago. Cleaning up that network is really, really important because you don't want to have negative Nancy's on there. You don't really want to have people that aren't a part of your fives, if that makes sense. So the reason why we talk about those fives is because that's kind of like what makes you you, like the type of people that you can relate to the most, if that makes sense. Like me, I'm a mom. I was a teen mom. So I talk to a lot of moms that have older kids because I was a teen mom. I just turned 30 Saturday and my son's 13. So you can do the math there. So I talk to people like that. I talk about people that have struggled with anxiety because I struggle with anxiety. And that's something I would share about. So these are all things I can pull from and people that I can connect to. So when I'm adding to my network, I go through and look at their profile. I see if they're like kind of consistent or if they're a type of people that I can relate to. If they are, I add them. If they're not and they're on my friends list, I unfriend them. Because like I don't want people that are my Instagram and my Facebook, how I look at it is completely my business. So anyone that's on my friends list, it's business related. And we have like friends and family, things like that. And I know that's going to be an area that you guys can grow through too, because a lot of times you're like, well, I'm worried about what my cousin thinks, or I'm worried about what my sister thinks, or I'm worried about what people's opinions don't pay your bills. Okay. And if you're going to allow that to hold yourself back from where your future and you're envisioning your future to be, you're going to constantly be living in that same pattern that you came here to change. So I would really start out with your why. If you have posted your anticipation post and maybe you're like newer in and haven't done this, I would, their second post or whatever post that you're kind of working on, I would talk about why you're here. Or challenge yourself if you're really wanting to go all in, go live. And I know live is like super scary for some people, but it's really, I'm such a hot mess. I talk like this. I'm like half the time don't even know what words come out of my mouth. I just like be myself and share about like where I'm at in life or what I'm going through. Or sometimes I'll like even do my makeup and get ready and be like, hey, let's chat, come talk with me. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be you. And a lot of times like lives, like especially if it's your first time doing live, and let's say you've come from another company, I share like why I decided to make that change. I let my audience in on my life and kind of what I was going through that made me want to make those changes. If you're new to network marketing or new to this industry, I talk about what that pivotal moment was. Like my first live was talking about what those pivotal moments were that I wanted change from. Mine was, I started this industry 5 years ago. My son was like, 7 when I started this industry, and I was working so much and missing out on so many moments with him and missed out on so much like memories that I could have had. And that was the reason that I decided to start, because I wanted to be able to show him that you can do anything you put your mind to. I wanted to show him that, hey, if you decide you want to do something, you can do it if you believe it. And I wanted to be able to give him the future that he deserves. But not only that, I wanted to be able to be present for that future. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was sick and tired of being overworked and underpaid and literally not getting anything in return for that. And there's so much potential in this industry. And the biggest thing is after you start learning your income producing activities, which all this is in unit 1 and 2. That's why I say if you haven't watched unit 1 and 2, it's a breakdown of your blueprint for everything. The third thing I would really focus on is being a part of the trainings and reaching out to your upline for questions and stuff like that. So trainings are going to really help with getting your curiosity going, helping with getting your like questions answered. So day 1, I'm going to recap with you before I let you all go. And so day 1, you're going to be focusing on your curiosity post, anticipation post, whatever you want to call it. You're also going to kind of write like an oh shit list, which is something that, sorry if I'm cussing, I don't normally cuss. So like if like your oh shit list is going to be like friends or family or people that you know personally that you feel could benefit from the product. By now, like I didn't try the products when I started. I just saw people like truly being so happy and fulfilled on our products. I was like, I just want to start. And I experienced how amazing our product line was after I started. So for me, what I did with my oh shit list was just really spoken to life what I saw from the people that I had joined under. with my like oh shit list. Like, so mine was like my best friend, my mom, my sis, like I don't have a sister, but my stepsister at the time, like things like that. And I would talk about like, okay, so I just joined this health and wellness company. You're probably going to see some posting from me, just letting you know, but there's a reason why. And I stand behind this with integrity. I'm really proud of something that I found that was able to really walk it like it talks. And I'm thankful that I found something that has that integrity, because I was missing that from my previous company. So it's really important for me to have this product line because it literally is gold. And so by me just transferring like how amazing I felt, like they're like, okay, I want to try it. And the super cool thing is, the other thing is, depending on what pack you have or depending on what you purchase, you can pack up little mini experiences on that too. So there's 2 different ways that I do mini experiences, and it really just depends on your preference. Me now, I do them through our cloud office because I don't like having to go to the post office if I don't need to. So there's ones underneath our cloud office. When you log into your back office, it says buy sample mailouts or send sample mailouts. I forget the exact name of it, but when you click that, you can buy them and you get 6 of them. And I sell mine from anywhere from 25 to 30. So times that by 6, you're making way more than you ever spend, and they mail them out for you. So you don't have to spend any like time going to the mailbox or doing all that. And then you also get that volume. So I think it's like 72 for 6, which is super cool because then you get 6 of them. You're selling those for 25 to 30. They're 9 full-size products for 3 days. So if someone's not completely ready to buy, be like, girl, just try a sample. They're $25. What's your address? And then you get them, you get your email, you get their address, you send it out to them, and then they're going, okay, I want to be a part of this. And then you can work it with the value that you're learning from that. So that's another reason. Or you can pack up your own from your personal supply. Maybe they're local, for example, and you have someone that wants one right now. What I did at the beginning is I would just pack up a cute little mini experience, and I would put like my shakes, my capsules, a thank you note in it, and would pack it like, and then just go take it to them. And I also do like Venmo or Cash App too, if they're just like, hey, I don't want to like, I don't have cash on me, be like, no, that's fine. Just here's like my Venmo, send it over. What's your address? I can drop it off for you today, or I can mail it out for you, whatever you prefer. So that's another way. But it's really cool because then you have multiple ways of making income here too. It's not just like you get your amazing weekly residual income, but then you have sample money too. And the cool thing is that I challenge you guys, if you start selling mini experience, let that stack up your mini experience money and just see, like literally it is amazing to see how much you can make with just sample money too. So that's another tip there. This day 2 is you're going to finish up units 1 and 2 if you haven't finished up units 1 and 2, and then you're going to do your announcement post. Your announcement post is kind of like, hey, I just did this decision, here's my why, here's why I did it kind of thing, and then like a picture. You're going to also do your 5s list if you have not done your 5s list. So kind of what I was talking about, like pulling for what are those 5 things that make you you? How do you feel about the products? Like 5 things that make you feel about the products and the business. Day 3, you're going to work with your sponsor to help create like, so your upline to create like opportunity stories for your social media. So day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever, it's not like a race. I don't want you to feel like you're having to race through everything or anything like that. If maybe you're better at learning a little bit differently, but make sure you are connecting with your upline so they can help you with each step of the way to guide you through that. And then plug into the team trainings like day 14 to day 4 to day 14, and then work through your IPA list. So I will send out IPAs, like a breakdown of what I specifically do every day. If you guys want to message me on Facebook, it's just Brittany Hernandez, and you guys can message and I can send you like an exact list of what I do. And my tip of the day for you guys, and I'll let you go, is I do like a to-do list. So probably can't see, but I use my note section and I make a to-do list. So for me, I'll write random things too. It's not just like business, but it will be like wake up at 7 because I set my like routine up every single day. Listen to a podcast, do IPAs, do birthdays. Birthdays are another really good thing to do if you're not doing that. Like you type in the search bar birthdays, and it'll pull up anyone's birthday that's today. What I do is I message and be like, happy birthday. I send a voice message because I'm just like that girl. And I'll be like, hey, babe, I just want to wish you happy birthday. I hope you're having an amazing day, or I hope that you do have an amazing day. And I just leave it like that. But just going at that extra mile to wish someone a happy birthday, people love that stuff. So that's another tip that I do. And then from there, I just knock off as I go. So like anything that I needed to knock off, I just knock off as I go. This was my to-do list for the last 2 days, so don't get overwhelmed if it's long. That's not like how it looks every day. But really just getting into a routine, really watching units 1 and 2, really focusing with your upline and letting them help you through things. That's our job. Like, I'm here to help you guys every step of the way. And it's really important that you ask those questions, because if you don't ask, we don't know. So I know it can be a little bit scary to like ask questions, and like you don't want to feel like you don't, but you're brand new, and you're brand new for a reason. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is for us to help you grow. No question is a done question. So I want you to get that out of your mind. Like, we're never going to be like, you should know this, or you need to figure out where it is. Like, that's not how we do things over here. And that's another thing. I think if you have come from a previous company, a lot of the feedback I hear is that like they're left in the dark, where they don't know what to do, or they're so used to like not being guided. That's not what we do over here. That is why we are the fastest growing tribe in Lavelle. That is why we want to make sure you're successful, whatever that may look like to you. Our job is to help you be the best you. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I know this is kind of a little all over the place, but that's just Brittany style there, because I am usually all over the place. So if you need more descriptions of anything, if you want to have like the little template that I send, it is the only thing that I send that is like a copy and pasted message. I am literally like team human in my conversations, and just really getting to know people and their goals. And what they're going through. The other thing I'll let you know really quick is there's a cool handy feature underneath the hustling page. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Underneath the hustling page, when you go there at the top, I don't know if you guys can see it. So like there's these little gray bulbs or whatever when you go on there. If you slide all the way over, there's one called topics. Okay. When you go to topics, there's literally sections for every single training. So that if you need help with conversations, there's all the conversation trainings that we've done underneath one section. If you need help with income producing activities, there's all that in underneath one section. If you need help with your VIPs, there's like different tips for VIPs, like all that stuff, okay? That's a really good feature that I use as well. And then message me if you need the breakdown of each PAX and the 3 different options for the PAX, and then income producing activities, okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for spending some time with me. I appreciate you guys, and welcome to this amazing tribe. We are so excited for you guys.